Welcome back to GTC, and we're going to talk some travel. And I know probably some of you are thinking travel now. Well, it's not so much about traveling right now, but it's about using, in my words, I've always said the proper language in times like these and staying positive. And I've said if there's anything you can do in life, including your golf trips, if there's a way of postponing them versus canceling them, and I'm using that in every walk of life right now, travel's not the same, then do so. So when we want to talk travel, challenges, what you should be doing, if you've got something on the books already, we bring on our friend from Golf Away Tours, TJ Rule. TJ, first of all, how are you? You and your family okay?
Yeah, thanks, Mark. And things are great. Yeah, we're obviously at home, been working from home for the last few weeks, shut down the office a few weeks ago. And, I keep telling people it's obviously not a great time for a lot of us, but the silver lining is that it's almost like a forced delayed paternity leave for me. And, I get to hang out with my 20-month-old son full time at home right now. And, there's nothing wrong with that. And it's been fun. We've been kind of hanging out in the backyard and staying busy that way. And so life's good. I can't complain.
And silver linings, and that's what this time is all about. And at the end of the day, the people with the good partners, the people who stick together, and the experts in their fields are the ones that will survive times like this. And that's certainly Golf Away Tours and you. And it's a good segue because I think right now the real positives in this is flexibility and options. If you've got travel on the calendar right now for 2020, it is not too soon to start making plans for 2021, whether it's booking something new, postponing something, pushing something back. T-sheets are going to be opening soon. Hotels, airlines, this is a new world for everybody, and they're giving your customers more options than ever before.
Yeah, you know what? And you said it. You said it right at the beginning. People aren't really talking about travel or thinking about travel right now, and for good reason. Obviously, we're a long way away from that, but at the same time, we want to start focusing on the positive, and we know we're going to get back to traveling again. 2020 is pretty much going to be a write-off. We don't know for how long, but we're definitely planning on for a few months or 6 months or maybe even into 21. But it's actually the time of year when people start booking trips overseas for the following year in a normal year. So, March, April is when a lot of the courses start looking at opening their tee sheets for the following year. So it's not like we're looking too early anyway. And if we can just be positive about it and, assume hopefully that we're traveling by this time next year, which I think we'll be doing. I certainly hope we will be doing. Then, it's not too early to be thinking about that stuff. And that's what we're trying to focus on. And so for those who have their trips for this year, obviously, yes, we're looking at having people postpone as opposed to cancel. And that's what the whole industry has sort of been holding on to and working together to try to get their clients to still, hey, you still should go on this trip. It's going to be a great trip. Let's just basically pause, right? The whole world pauses for however long and just, push it back to next year, push it to maybe even later this year, but postpone your trip as opposed to canceling. And that's really been the message in the travel industry lately. And as a result, it's making things busy for next year already.
And that's really the language we're trying to use for everything when it comes to golf tournaments, when it comes to people having weddings on the calendar this year. It's sad, but you got to make do with try to do the best of a bad situation. And how we do that is by just delaying things and pushing things back and not letting this win, delaying the things we love. And speaking of that, we were scheduled to go to Ireland, in Southwest Ireland, which is my favorite place in the world to play golf. Scheduled to go this August. That's looking unlikely. And we're already talking to you about maybe pushing that back to the Olympic window next year, which would be a window in my calendar on the PGA Tour radio schedule. So we're already thinking ahead. You can't be too early on this. And to double up on that, if you're thinking in the St. Andrews area, there's a new golf course there, and we also know how difficult tee times are at St. Andrews. You're never too early to start talking about Old Course.
Yeah, I mean, St. Andrews is a whole different ball game, as we've talked about before. And, that area, they're obviously in a tough situation, and they're having to reschedule everybody for next year. So as a result, there actually aren't going to be a lot of open tee times for next year unless they change their tact and actually open up more times to the public and to the process this year. So that's going to be an interesting one going forward. Just to step back a bit, so far, we are postponing and canceling, mostly postponing trips for people traveling up until, say, June or July at this point. we're still holding out hope that come August, September, that people will be able to travel. Of course, we're, for groups like yours, keeping a close tabs on that. And, every day that goes by, it seems less and less likely, unfortunately. But certainly a lot of people are still holding out hope. But if that's not the case, then people should act, sooner than later, because of the fact that things are going to book up so quickly for 21. You're not just going to have the people who were originally looking at booking 21, but also the people postponing. So, St. Andrews is one area that's going to book up quickly. You look at places like Muirfield that have already opened up their books for 21 and are almost sold out for the year. And a lot of that is probably a lot of groups from 20 postponing until next year. Royal County Down, Royal Portrush in Northern Ireland are opening their books on May 1st. So again, they're going to be opening up and filling up very, very quickly. So yeah, we got to be on this sooner than later, and people can't start looking at it too early. Now, going back to your other point about St. Andrews and the new course there that's opened up, I think I may have mentioned it briefly before on one of my previous visits, but the course, so to talk about something positive and a course opening up, it's really exciting to have a new high-end golf course, links golf course, new golf course near St. Andrews. It's about 25 minutes out of St. Andrews to the south towards Edinburgh. It's called Dumbarnie Links, and it's a fabricated links golf course, to be quite honest. It was a farm field before, similar to Kings Barnes, but similar to Kings Barnes, they did an amazing job of making it look natural. And it's a spectacular golf course. And it opens up, it was planning to open up in May of this year. Of course, we don't know now, but it'll give it more time to grow in, I guess. But I got the opportunity. I was lucky enough to play it last October when I was there. We got a little preview round, and it's a course that's going to rival Kings Barnes in my estimation down the road, which is high praise, because Kings Barnes is usually one of the favorites of the clients that we send over there. So, it's another one to add to the bucket list for people who are going to the St. Andrews area.
Yeah, that's high praise. Kings Barnes is one of my favorite golf courses in the world, and their sister course in Scotland, Castle Stewart's also one of my favorites. So hard to go wrong with anything mentioned in a Kings Barnes breath or related in any way to that golf course. Before we let you go, TJ, we talked a little St. Andrews here. Next year, the Open Championship. As of right now, we're still acting like the RNA is going to have the Open in July, and it might be the kickoff to what will be a very condensed and busy major golf championship season. They've also talked about potential postponing of it and some alternative ways of throwing the Open. When I hear that, I hear maybe spectator free. I don't know. It's a wait and see approach with the RNA and the Open. But next year, the Open Championship is at the old course at St. Andrews, which makes it very special. To me, when the Open's at St. Andrews, it's like the US Open at Pebble Beach. It just means something a little bit more. For people that were thinking of going, looking to get tickets, can you still get accommodations in July for the Open Championship?
Well, no, you can't unless you go through a tour operator. And we have secured some accommodation for that Open. Yeah, the whole town's sold out. It's going to be magical, to be honest. Fingers crossed it happens. Obviously, if this year gets postponed or even canceled, then all bets are off. Who knows what they're going to do? But we're still holding out hope that next year is still going to be the 150th Open, and it's going to be just magical because the whole town's going to be abuzz. It's going to be sold out. As I mentioned, all the accommodations have been sold out for months now. We have accommodation actually as part of the St. Andrews University there. They're really nice new apartment style accommodation. About a 10-15 minute walk from the old course. So yeah, we have packages together with week-long passes, staying in town, like I said, at St. Andrews University residences, and playing golf at Dumbarnie and Carnoustie and Kings Barnes. And so it's going to be a pretty awesome week. If people are interested, certainly there's still room available. Obviously, people are kind of taking a bit of a wait and see approach for a lot of things right now, but fingers crossed that's still going to happen because it's going to be pretty magical. I'm going to be there myself hosting. So I'm really looking forward to it. I haven't been to an Open, so for my first Open to be at St. Andrews, I'm pretty excited about that.
TJ, thanks so much for your time, buddy. Stay safe. All the best to you and your family. Golfawaytours.com, golfawaytours.com is your way of getting a hold of TJ and the group at Golfaway Tours, who are truly the experts in what they do. And it's not too early to start making plans for 2021. On the other side, we'll have more GTC coming up. This is Golf Talk Canada.